Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this video is reviewing distributive property. So take a look at these two problems on this worksheet. And we're going to start with number 6, because that's the common one that you should already be familiar with. Notice there's a 7 that's timesing the parentheses. And the logic of distributive property is, well, that 7 is timesing the parentheses, so do you agree that there's two terms inside there, I just circled in red, that are in the parentheses, and therefore, logically, the 7 is going to times each of them. The 7 is going to time each of them, and this is what we mean by distributive property. So that 7 is going to times the 8, and I'm going to get 56b, and the 7 is going to times the 5, and I'm going to get plus 35. Note that there was a plus in the middle, and you got to keep track of your signs, a very common mistake. So that is distributive property. Now look at problem 4. It looks a little different, but the idea is the same. Notice I have a 6p here, right? Well, it's going to times everything in the other parentheses. So I'm going to get 48p squared. And 6 times 7, negative 7, is negative 42p. So just stop a few seconds and make sure you understand. All I did again, as shown in green, is I took that 6p right there and I distributed it. Right? Now, if you look carefully, isn't there something we've forgotten about? That's right, that negative 5. Now keep track of your signs. That is a negative 5. And I'm going to distribute that negative 5 as well. So I'm going to get negative 40p, and negative 5 there times negative 7 is positive 35. Okay, and that's basically all you have to do. But notice in the middle here, I do have two p terms, so I can combine those together. They're like terms. So what's my final answer? 48p squared minus 82p plus 35. Okay, now guys, that's a quick rundown of distributive property. Now let's just do one more, however, and see how it just keeps expanding. Look at this final problem here. Now what's the only difference is over here, notice I now have 3 terms, right? Well, I'm still going to take each of those 3 terms times the terms in the first parentheses like I did in the prior problem. In other words, this 2n right there, I'm going to times with n squared and get 2n cubed. The 2n is going to times the n, I'm going to get 2n squared. That 2n is going to times the 6, I'm going to get 12n. See how I times everything by 2n? It's still distributive property, right? And if you look, is there anything I've forgotten? Well, of course, that negative 7 there, and I'm going to times that by n squared, and I'm going to get a minus 7n squared, and then times that n, I'm going to get a minus 7n, and then finally times that 6, I'm going to get a minus 42. And so we do have some like terms here. 2n cubed is the only cubed term, but I do have a 2n squared and a minus 7n squared there. Well, that's a minus 5n squared. And then if you look carefully enough, I also have a 12n and a minus 7n. Well, together that's 5n. And what's left over, of course, is minus 42. So here we have a very straightforward, simple video on distributive property. Okay. And distributive property, guys. And I hope you understand it already. If you need to, obviously watch it again, pause it, and when you need to. And this is a very basic concept which we should already know. And I'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye.